Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the second part of Science Content Pedagogy. Good to have you back. And Travis, welcome back from last year. This is the second part of the two-part pedagogy courses. And so we're going to get started with just some overview. Make sure you take a look at the syllabus. It has important information on the projects you're going to be doing this term, the points, when they're due, all of that. The focus of this term is STEM and integrating science with other content areas, along with incorporating technology into your science instruction. You'll be working on developing lessons. I think all of you will be actually working on your TPA this term, and so we'll discuss that during week 3, but the focus of the lessons in this class aren't necessarily geared towards TPA. You can definitely double dip and you can use those lessons for that, but it's not required. And so there are some things that, because this is an integrated STEM unit, that might be more challenging to use in your setting, but so keep that in mind as we go forward, and we'll talk more about that when we're in person during week 3. So week 1, you have a couple of pretty mild assignments. The first one is an EDA self-assessment. Oh, before we move on. So office hours, if you want to speak with me, check in, ask questions, clarify something, you can click on this link. It'll take you to a calendar, and the highlighted in blue are the days that I have office hours, so you can sign up for those. If for some reason those don't work or you need to talk to me in between, you can email me, and I am usually able to find a time that works for both of us. So sign up for those. If you have any questions, don't wait until you get behind. Please stay on top of it so that you don't end up getting too far behind and have to scramble. The other thing we're going to use, again, this term is a Google Drive folder. We'll actually look at that in just a minute. And then you're going to continue to use the NSTA Learning Center, which is officially your textbook. So, Travis, we may have to figure out how to get you reconnected with that. So, I'm going to suggest that you actually email me or actually sign up for office hours. I'm going to see if I can add you based on the fact that you've already purchased it in the past, but because you delayed and restarted, you might have to actually purchase the access to this again. So let's talk about that. Another resource is the Lacunas website. That's going to be some materials we'll use again this term. We looked at some of those last term. So moving forward, your assignments for this week are, you're going to do a reflection just on your science identity. So this is kind of how do you see yourself in science education as a scientist, as a science educator? You're going to complete that and answer the following questions. And you can actually do that in text, or you can copy these and do an attachment, either way. That is going to be due by, and all of the assignments are due on Sunday night, or the majority, except for during the finals week, are due on Sunday night at midnight. The other one is you're going to actually do a self-assessment using the Educator Dispositions Assessment. And then once you've done that, you're going to upload it here. But you will find the form to do that in our Google Drive. So if you go, again, back up to the top of the page, you click on our shared Google Drive, you should be able to access it. And under week 1, you'll see the EDA form. So you're going to want to download it or make a copy of it with your name. And then you're going to assess yourself. And you can do that in a couple ways. You can make an X next to the box that, or you can highlight. So for me, it was easiest just to maybe go like this and then highlight it in yellow, like this is, and then, but you need to do each level for each section. So the reason I have you do the EDA is because you actually are being assessed using that by all of your ed teachers. And so I will complete one of those this term and submit it. And so I want you to first see what it is about and make sure you understand it and what's in it, but also really think about yourself as a professional educator, and are you meeting the criteria? You should not be self-assessing yourself with any zeros, and neither should I assess you with any zeros. If you are showing proficiency at the 0 level on any of these, then you would probably need to have a discussion with our coordinators about how to make improvements in that area. Ones are definitely okay. That means you're progressing towards the standard of professionalism we expect of you at graduation. Any questions about that, email me, but that is your second assignment for this week. Some things to start looking at. I want you to read the STEM equity brief. So our first couple assignments are going to be around STEM equity. And so there's some resources that I want you to look at. And there's also a classroom equity checklist I want you to take and do an equity checklist in your own classroom or your student teaching environment. Here's some instructions for how to do that. So that's kind of, so even though this isn't assigned, this is something you should be working on for the next week, because you're going to use it when you discuss and respond in the equity discussion forum for next week. So that is it for week 1. Again, we will be meeting in person on week 3. It is really critical to have you come on week 3 and meet with me so that we can do some science. Actually, we're going to do some great STEM projects, and we're also going to debrief on a number of things that it will be easier to ask questions and get clarification on in person, like, what's the difference between the unit you're doing for my class and what you have to do for TPA. So I look forward to seeing you in person in a couple weeks and working with you online until then. Hope you had a good winter break, and again, let's get going.